In this video series, we will learn Amazon CloudSearch. This service is similar to OpenSearch, which is also from Amazon, and also the famous ElasticSearch. Now, as the name suggests, it's a modern search engine. We can easily integrate this into our mobile or web applications. Now we can host the customer's data, product data, or anything, and we can search using multiple ways. Okay, so as the document suggests, it supports 32 popular languages, and it has some nice features like highlighting, autocomplete, geospatial search, etc. Now it's a fully managed service, so that we don't have to worry about provisioning the infrastructure, software updates, maintenance, etc. It's quite easy to set up and start using. And also the learning curve is quite flat. Now, like any other AWS services, it's fully scalable, reliable, etc. Okay, you can see, you can read if you want to know further about this service. But basically, it's a search engine. Now, I'm heading to my AWS. Okay. All right. So just search for CloudSearch. Now, this is a 4-part video series. Now, in the present video, we will see how to do the things on the console. But in the next 3 videos, we will use SDK, Python SDK Boto 3 to do the 3 tasks, which is creating the search engine, ingesting the data, and performing the search. Okay, so just do the cloud search. Now, because I have already created some domains, so this is what I see. But if you are using it the first time, you will see some 3 icons to suggest that it's a 3-level 3 tasks to it. The first one is creating a domain, as I just said. The second one, ingesting the data, and third one, start using the search engine. Okay, so if you are using first time, you will see a slightly different page. Now I have already created 3 domains, but let's start a fresh domain. Okay, so just click on create new domain. I think this is let me do this one thing. So here they have, this is the old console, but they have recently created a new console. So let's use the new console. Okay, so here I'm doing new console. Now just the look and feel is different, but the functionality and everything is exactly similar between the old and new console. Okay, so here we are using new console. If you want to switch back to old console, so just click here and then you will see the old console. All right, so we are going to use new console. So create a domain. Now let's give it a name, CloudSearch Demo maybe 4, and the search engine. So that's the latest one. Leave that as it is. And then the instance type. So here we can choose different instances. Let's go with the default one because we are not going to load that much data. So small instance is enough. But if you are using this application in production, you might want to use at least a large to extra large instance. All right. And then the replication, again, if you are using in production, you might want to have a couple of replications, but again, this is for demo purpose. So just leave it as it is. And then we will define the schema now. Okay. Now there are various ways to do it. If we have a file locally, for example, it can be a CSV or text or XML file. We can upload the file so that the search engine, it will infer what are the attributes in the file, their data types, etc. Okay. Now, or we can have the same data on S3 as well. So we can create the schema and ingest the data from S3, the DynamoDB also. Then to make the learning easier, they also have some sample data. Okay. Or we can manually also configure the attributes. So in the next 3 videos, as we are going to do programmatically, so we will see the format of the input data, etc. Everything in much more detail. But in this video, we will take the easy path and we will use the sample data provided by the Amazon. Okay. Now they have a couple of data sets. So let's use this IMDb movies data set. Okay. And we can also, you can also try these 3 other data sets, but let's use IMDb data set. All right. Now, so this data set, it has these 11 attributes, starting with, for example, the movie title and the actors, directors, the movie genre, the image URL, the movie logo or the image, and then the plot. This is a text field, the rank, the rating provided by the users, release date, and running time in seconds. Now, if you look at their data types, we are already familiar with these ints. For example, let's look at the ints. The running time, the rank, okay, and then the text fields are the image URL, the plot, and the title. Then the doubles, the rating, and there is one more, I believe. Yeah, only the rating. But these 3 new fields, the text array, which is a list of actors, okay, and another text array, which is a list of directors, and then the literal array, which is similar to text array, but we have predefined fields. For example, the movie genres, it cannot be anything, right? So there are certain, let's say, some 5 predefined genres. So this variable can take one or multiple of only those 5 values. Whereas in text array, we can have anything. Okay. Now by default, all the fields are searchable. Now in some cases, we might have some additional info. We don't want to search in that one. We may still want that attribute to be returned when we search, but we may not want to search within that field. Okay. So if you want to do that, then we can disable that column. So, but by default, all these columns are searchable. Now the facet means it's more of categorical. We can use this if we enable a variable as facet, then we can use that in the filtering. Okay. Now the return means which attributes we want to return when we do the search. Okay. So by default, again, we are returning all the fields. Now sort means we can sort the search results using let's say the rank or maybe the rating, or we might want to sort the results using the running times, etc. Right? We can also do the sorting using the text. And finally, highlight means if you are using it on the console, it will highlight the words it find out, right? So for example, let's say we are searching for, let's say, transformers, right? If so, that will be highlighted in the title name and also maybe in the plot. So we have this paragraph text, and wherever we find that keyword, it will highlight. We will see that example. Okay. That's pretty much it. And you can also define some default values, etc. if you would like. Go to next. And then here we have the access policy, who should have access, etc., etc. We can have custom policies, etc. But for this demo, let's have open access so that we don't have to worry about permissions too much. Okay. But as it suggests, it's not recommended. Okay. This is only for the demo. All right. I guess that's pretty much it. And then review the field. And if you need to change anything, we can edit here and then create. So we are just creating this new search domain. As you can see from here, it takes about 10 minutes to do the set up the search engine. Okay. Now, instead of waiting for 10 minutes, what I have done is I have created another domain, this CS demo 1. As you can see here, it don't have any search documents. I just created the domain, which is what we are going to see for CS demo 4 in another 10 minutes. Okay. So let's take this one and ingest some data. Now, as you can see, all these 4 domains, they are using the same instance type, but this test domain, it already includes these 5,000 documents, whereas the second one include only 10 documents, and these 2 are empty, fourth one being just created. So let's take this one. So here we can see the information which we created just now. So the domain name, the number of index fields, and 2 important ones which we will use in with SDK are this document endpoint and search endpoint. So we will use document endpoint to upload the data or ingest the data, and then we will use search endpoint to do the search. Okay. All right, these we don't have to worry, the policies, etc. And then go to actions, and here you have upload documents. Okay. Again, as you can see, we can either upload the data from our local machine or Amazon S3 or DynamoDB. But for this demo, we are using the sample data. So let's click on this sample data. Now, if you see the local machine, it's the same as same format as what we can use for creating the schema. Let's go with the sample. Now IMDb movies. Okay, so choose next. Okay, so this is the data, and AWS, they have already have a file with 500 documents. Okay, now you can download this sample file so that you can see what's in the file, what's the format, etc. And had we chosen the previous options like a local machine or Amazon S3, we are able to upload the file which we download from the next section, right? For example, let's say you want to load the file from local machine or Amazon S3, but you don't have the data. So what you do is you simply do this trick. So choose sample data first, then IMDb, go here and download this file. Okay, download the file and go back. Then you can choose local file and upload the file which we just downloaded. Okay, all right. But in a real world use case, we probably won't be doing this from the console, but this is just for understanding, right? We do these things programmatically using the software development kits or CDKs, etc. But the learning curve from the console is very easy. So that's why we are doing this first time on the console. Okay, so let's go with sample data. Now click on next. Okay, this is the data it's going to upload, total 5,000 documents and upload documents. Okay, it's not much, so it should be done very quickly. All right, all done, no warnings, no deletes, no errors. Download generated documents, batch optional. I guess it's the same data, that 5,000 documents. If you want, we can download, but let's close. Okay, so if you go back to domains, interesting. Yeah, so as you can see, to CS demo 1, we just have uploaded 5,000 documents. Now our CS demo 4, which we started with, is still being created. It takes a few more minutes, but once it is created, we can do exactly what we did with CS demo 1 in order to ingest the data. Okay, so we have already ingested the data. So let's go here and then run a test search. Okay, so let's do the test search. Now here we can query or we can provide our search terms, and then these are the facets or filters. So we can filter the data by providing the keywords here. And then there are 4 query parsers. Okay, the simple one, it is used for search fields. The structured one to make more complex compound queries. The Lucene and Dismax, these are more for this Apache. If you have used Apache search engines before, they have a particular way of querying, and Amazon document says the Lucene and Dismax, they follow similar syntax or exactly the same syntax as those Apache search engines. Okay, and then the default operator. Now by default, the search results, I mean if there are multiple results, those are returned or are sorted by what is called this score. We will see when we do some search. Okay, all right. Now there are some allowed operators. So by default, all these are enabled. Okay. So let's start with some simple search, and let's search for maybe the Hunger Games. Okay. This is a movie data set. So what we do is the Hunger Games. Now we have not provided, why? Something strange. The Hunger Games. Simple search. Score. What's going on? Yeah. Let me check the title. The game, the Hunger Games, I guess. Okay, the Hunger Games. So let me have a look at this third document, which is, what's the title? The Hunger Games. Why did it not resolve? Something strange going on. Because in the old search engine, I was able to find the documents. Let us do one thing. So let's go back to the old console, and yep. So let me go to this test one, run search test, the Hunger Games. Yeah, see, this is returning the results. For some reason, the new console is not returning the results. Let's check that again. So let's use the new console. Let's use the test, run test search. Okay. This time it is returning. Now let's go back to CS demo 1, which we just created. Run test search. Hunger Games. I guess the data probably is still being loaded to this search engine active, but it says it's active. All right. Anyway, so these two are exactly the same. This one I created just an hour ago. So let's use this one. For some reason, the new one, I guess probably the data is still being loaded. So let's do some search and then run the query. Now, so here we search for this keyword, the Hunger Games, right? Now it could have found anywhere. It could have been found in the title or in the plot as well. Okay, so it found 4 results, and these results are sorted based on the search relevance score. Okay, now here what it does is it does a nice thing. Among the results it has found for attributes which can be grouped or categorical, it provide these summary statistics. For example, genre, we have adventure 4. So these 4 movies, those are categorized under, all 4 are categorized under adventure, sci-fi, and 3 of them under action, 3 of them under thriller, and 2 of them under drama. Okay, and then similarly if you look at the ranks, so these 4 belongs to 4 different ranks, and these are the ranks. And then the rating, we have one, for one movie we have 7.2 rating. Now all of the movies, it's not showing. So for this movie 7.2. Yeah, so for only for one movie we have the rating 7.2, which is 1. and then the release dates, etc. So obviously here we don't have the text or actors or directors because we cannot group them, because obviously those text fields each will be different for each return results, right? Yeah, that's how it looks. I'm also using this new console the first time, but in the old console we can clearly see the scores, etc. So let's do one thing. Let's go back to the old console and yep. So let's do the same search so that I can show you the highlighting, etc. So this is how the old console is. So the grouping, what we saw here. So we can nicely see the grouping here, and these are the years. All 4 movies are from 4 different years. But as you can see here, this is the score and the second document. Now, how exactly they calculate the score, it is not too clear, and unfortunately, it is not normalized score. Let's say between 0 to 1, so that we can see 1 means very relevant, 0 means, maybe closer to 0 means low relevancy. So it's not a normalized score, but uh, probably at least we can see a to uh, relative to the first score. We can see how close the second score is to find out if the second document is as much relevant as the first document. Okay, now this is the highlighting part I was talking about. So we search for this Hunger Games, so it has highlighted this part. Hey, I have found it in the title, and I have also found it in the plot. Okay, so this highlighting, that's what it is saying. So I have found your keyword both in the plot as well as in the title, right? All right, so yeah, for the fourth document, as you can see, the keyword is not found in the plot, it's only found in the title. Now the phrases like the common phrases in this English, like a, the, to, etc., as you can see, those are being ignored. Okay, now the additional options which we saw from the new console also. So here we have a different search engines, right? Simple, structured. Now using the structured one, we can build some compound queries, etc. Now the search field, let's say we want the CloudSearch to search only in this plot field. Okay, in this plot field. So let's rerun the query. Now how many results? So as you can see, this time it has results only 2, right? Because only from 2 plots. Where is the plot? Plot. Yep. Okay. So as you can see, only 2 documents have Hunger Games in their plot, even though their title still has the Hunger Games. But we have informed the search engine that, hey, search only in the plot field. Okay, that's why it has returned only 2 results. Now the other search engines, we will have multiple examples of them when we do using programmatically, because that's how we use the search engine, right? We might either integrate into a web application or mobile application via some APIs, and we query programmatically. I mean, the user might still be querying from a console, but to the search engine, we will be submitting the queries via some API. Okay, so we'll do more searches using programming languages. All right, and then one more thing I want to mention is, here we have this ID. So each document will have an ID. Okay, as you can see here. Now if you want to search in that ID field, so we do like this. Okay, so we add this underscore to say it's a system designed ID. I mean, we can provide our own ID. I mean, these IDs are also the movie IDs which we have used for document ID. But if we want to search using this one, so let's do this. We can use underscore ID. So if I search this, obviously I did not find, but I can do prefix search. If I add a star here, then it will show the documents. So for example, it has found these 5 documents and all of them are starting with this TT19512, and then the last 2 digits are different. So here we have 64616566. Okay. I'll just show you a couple of more searches. So using this, we can do both prefix and postfix type of search. Let me do this thing first. Let me see. So here we have 2, 6 and 4, right? So let's do one thing, then 6, 4. So let's here we have a prefix, here we have a postfix, right? Now we don't know how many arbitrary characters are in the middle. In that case, we can use the star. Now if we search this with simple search, we don't find it. But each search engine has its own limitation. So the simple search, it mainly works with the text and text array, whereas this Lucene, it has some additional functionality. So as you can see this time, now we have 6 as a postfix or at the end, and at the beginning we have the same one. So in the middle, we are asking it can be any character. Okay, so it found only one document which has the 6 in the middle. Now okay, all right, what else? That's it for this console. But as I mentioned, have a look at the remaining 3 videos where we do it more programmatically, which is what we do when we build these applications. Okay. Thank you very much. See you in the next video.